One of the other things we're going to do today is mite treatment. So this site here I'm going to treat with oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is an organic chemical, so it doesn't penetrate the wax, it doesn't leave any residue, but the bad thing is it's not licensed in the UK. So I treat my nucleus colonies with these generally. I have put some amitraz in some of them. However, I'm going to be using oxalic acid on the nukes here. Now the way oxalic acid works is I'm going to use what we call, this is an InstanVap. It's a phenomenal toy. It is probably the best on the market. You can get different fittings for different batteries. So I've got iron hell, and it's really quick. You can do a nuke in about 30 seconds. You can do a hive in 30-40 seconds, and so you can get through a whole yard really quickly. The way this works is oxalic acid is a powder. This heats up to 200 and something degrees centigrade. We measure a couple of grams with this, poke that in there, that sits at the base here. So this little unit here, you can twist the measuring tools so it can do up to a 4 gram dosage. So we want 2 grams for a nuke. We dump that in there, that picks in there, goes in there, we click it. What that does is that pushes the powder down into a little tray at the base here, which is superheated, and it turns that powder into a gas instantly. The gas will come out of here, and the way that works is it kind of engulfs the colony of bees. And what happens is it engulfs the colony of bees, and then it cools. And as it cools quickly, and it cools and it kind of covers the bees, a bit like dusting them with icing sugar. And what that does is the phoretic mites, that's the mites that we're treating against that are on the actual bees or in and around the colony, it goes onto them, it forces them to fall off the bees because they lose their grip. I believe it also melts or damages their legs, and they fall through. We have a wire mesh at the base of the colony. It falls through the mesh, it comes out of the hive. So it kills the mites, it removes the mites from the bees, the phoretic mites, and after a couple of hours all the oxalic acid is disintegrated. It's a natural substance. It's in rhubarb, it's in carrots, and there's loads of crap you might see on Facebook, people putting rhubarb leaves in their hives because they're just doolally, or planting rhubarb next to their hives. So this is a natural treatment that doesn't penetrate the wax. So what that means is we have to do multiple treatments. So I would treat every single hive with a chemical called apibioxal, which is oxalic acid mixed with like glucose, which is a licensed treatment to be used in the UK. So I would do my hives with that because that's licensed in case. So it's a licensed treatment. One treatment through a broodless period, so November time, late November, when the queens stop laying, the bees are just bundled up, we can treat with this and we can really push back the mites. So every single one of my hives will get that treatment, regardless if they've been treated with apibioxal, not apibioxal, if they've been treated with oxalic acid, Apiguard, amitraz, whatever, they'd all get it. Now what we're going to do with these nukes, the ones you saw me set up a few weeks ago, is we're going to treat them with this. It will kill the phoretic mites on the actual bees. 5 days later we'll come back and we'll retreat. 5 days later we'll retreat, because what it doesn't do is it doesn't penetrate the wax. So the mites are inside the brood on the larvae, it's not going to touch them. So we want to do 3 treatment to encompass a whole brood cycle. If there's drone brood, or if we're still seeing so much, we'll do a 4th treatment 4 days later to make sure we get the whole scope of that colony. So it's perfect. And a day like today where it's been raining, a lot of the bees are inside the hive, it's great. I like to do it in the evening, but needs must and time. So I will show you how this works. It's a great little tool. I'm quite happy to come round and do local beekeepers in the broodless period, because you can treat your bees in the middle of winter without having to open anything up. I drill a hole in the back of my floor, so all the floors I made myself. There's a hole in the back, I could poke that through and treat. The nukes, we have a little rubber thing here, because this copper tube gets silly hot and melts, so this rubber thing just protects and doesn't melt the actual polystyrene. This unit here, this I picked up I think in February at the beekeeping show. This helps when we clean, it helps it, you know, stop us getting water in here. But what it does do is from yard to yard, that goes into the ammo box into the back of the car. It doesn't cool down, it helps retain a lot of heat. Right, so let's go and have some fun. Before we do that, one super important thing, PPE. So I wear this under my veil. This filters out any kind of natural organic substances, ammonia and different things, as well as it's got heavy particles. Because the way that this gas condenses and cools really quickly, if you breathe this in, it's going to cool and it's going to cover the internal parts of your lungs, which ultimately can kill you. It's a really, really dangerous chemical. So when you do it, if people are watching, make sure there's no one down drift. Give them a mask. So this is what I use. It's a full face shield. It's by 3M, so it's good quality gear, and it's a 3-part particulate filter. Really, really important you wear correct PPE. Can't stress that enough.
So what we're going to do quickly is we're going to run a 2-gram test through, so I can show you what it's like coming out of the unit. So we're nearly at temperature, we're 4 degrees away. Sorry if you can't hear me, I have my big gas mask on and I have forgotten my wireless microphone. So if you can't, I will do something afterwards. So we're now at temperature. We've got a 2-gram dosage here, if you can see by the measuring. I'm going to pop that in, and we are going to click the button. And what happens if it's upright? It's going to send out, look at that, here we go. Now that's the money. So it sends out the gas. That's a 2-gram dosage. This is enough to do 1 nucleus colony. It's quite quick. And that'll be it. That's the trick done. We're at 227, so by the time I've got the oxalic acid ready for the next hive, position it in the next hive, we're at temperature. So you can see how we could do each nuke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nukes in no time at all. So and that's it, that's 3 nukes done. I'm at 4 minutes from the start of the video to the end, 4 minutes 30. So yeah, really simple. And to clean the machine, it's quite easy. We have this little rubber bung. We fill it with water. Take the top off. Have to go into its holder there. And what we do, upside down. Do it once. Let it warm up again, and we'll do it a second time. But again, it's really important to wear your PPE while you do this. Because you're really gutting out, and you can see it takes a lot of force to hold the cap down. All that stuff comes out. If you breathe that in, it's not good. 200 degrees, so it's quite hot. And we do it 2 more times. So we do it once now. And I like to do it 1 more time when I turn the unit off. Now, turn the unit off, disengage the battery, and we're going to give that a rinse. 50 cal ammo box sits in there plastic flat. And this thing we get a bit of rinse in the bottom. That goes into the lid. That's it. Any questions? Please ask. Don't drink this.